Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Stephanie White, in her post-game interview, confirms the team looks the best when the ball is in Caitlin's hands, when she is the main decision maker, and everything revolves around her. Yet for some strange reason, in the Valkyries game yesterday, after witnessing that in real time, Stephanie White decides to change things up, slow the things down, take Caitlin out the game, and she complains that the team suddenly loses focus. They stop paying attention to detail. Let's listen to what Stephanie White has to say, and then we'll talk about it and get into it.
Thank you both.
Steph, they were coming in here talking about lack of focus, lack of knowing the game plan. How do you summarize kind of what you saw out there?
I was disappointed because I felt like there was a lack of competitive fire. With the exception of about 2 5-minute spurts, our attention to detail was poor. I'm not sure if it's not knowing the game plan as much as, because if it's not knowing the game plan, then that's a whole nother conversation, as much as not executing the game plan. Our attention to detail.
2 5-minute spurts. I don't care about the rest of what she has to say. It's going to sound good, I'm sure. It's going to be her refusing to take accountability, I'm sure. It's going to be her putting the onus on the players, I'm sure. Not owning up to her, I'm sure. But what she said right there, other than 2 5-minute spurts, the team lost focus, didn't pay attention to detail, so on and so forth. That is her not realizing that she's accountable for what transpired. The 2 5-minute spurts that Stephanie White is referring to, not really 5-minute spurts, but Stephanie White, I'm not going to crucify you over this. The first 6 minutes of the first quarter and a 4-minute window in the third quarter is what Stephanie White is referring to. The first 6 minutes of the first quarter, the Indiana Fever are pushing the pace. They're pushing tempo. They're being aggressive. They're forcing the defense to react to them rather than just sit in place and know what's already about to transpire. Motion offense. The third quarter, the Fever are pushing pace. The Fever are up tempo. The Fever are being aggressive. The Fever are forcing the defense to react and not sit back and relax because they know what's coming. Motion offense. And now what those two spurts have in common, the ball was in Caitlin Clark's hand. She was being aggressive. She was pushing tempo. And she was forcing the defense to react, therefore creating shots for other players. Therefore putting the defense on their back heel. So Stephanie White, in real time, realized what was happening, what was going on, what was transpiring, yet she still decided to go away from that. Yet she still decided to change things up and say, whoa there, folks, slow it down over here. Whoa, things, folks, slow it down over here. Caitlin, hold up, Caitlin. Whoa. And this goes to the second part of what Stephanie White said. The game plan, the lack of execution of the game plan. The game plan wasn't being executed in those 2 5-minute spurts, Stephanie. I hate to break it to you. Those 2 spurts that you're referring to, Caitlin took that game plan, looked at it, crumbled it up, and threw it in the trash. I'm the game plan. I'm back. Let me cook, as the kids would say. And she cooked up. And then Stephanie White gets the team in a timeout, gets the team in a huddle, and says, hey, folks, don't forget the game plan. Don't forget the game plan. Slow it down, screen, pass, down screen, stagger screen, whoa. And that gives you to the confusion that the players must be feeling. Okay, this is the confusion. All right, so when I follow coach's game plan, the Valkyrie come back and take a massive lead. When I'm following Caitlin Clark's lead, because she's a leader, when I'm following Caitlin Clark's lead, we go on the best runs that we had all game. The team looks the best that it's looked all game. Yet the game plan is in complete contradiction of what CC wants to do and is in complete contradiction of how this team operates best. Yeah, if I'm a player, I'm confused as well. I don't know if she lost everybody in the locker room, but at this point, people in that locker room have to be checking out. At this point, people in that Indiana Fever locker room, players within that locker room have to be checking out. If we can see what's transpiring, I'm sure they can see what's transpiring. Our biggest issues last year, CC off ball, CC standing in a corner, backup point guard bringing it up, paint touches, paint touches, paint touches. Our biggest issues from yesterday's game with Stephanie White, CC playing off ball, CC standing in a corner, backup point guard bringing the ball up, paint touches, paint touches, paint touches. But now we can swap out paint touches, paint touches, paint touches with motion, 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 motion. Like we're a damn football player. Motion, 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 motion. Yeah, that's probably a better Stephanie White interpretation right there. Impersonation right there. Indiana Fever fans aren't happy with what's transpiring lately with Caitlin Clark. In fact, many are saying, ooh, it's time to start maybe looking in another direction. I got news for you. Stephanie White's here to stay. Stephanie White's not going anywhere this year, not going anywhere next year, if there is a next year. The one thing that I implore fans to do, respectfully, use your voices. Use your voices. Make them hear your displeasure. Every time they look at an Indiana Fever, they're seeing the fans not happy with what's going on. Every time they make a post and they look to see the reactions, they see fans not happy with what's going on. They see fans asking for change. Because like last season, change happened eventually. It took a long time for change to come, but when that change came, team turned around instantly. With less talent. We're nearly at the point with the Indiana Fever team last year with less talent and Christy Sides being hands off would go up against this team and run this team out of the gym. Christy Sides would just go. Just go. Just, Caitlin, is this what you want to? Just do what you want to do. Do what you got to do. A team that we're playing Christy Wallace, serious minutes, Erica Wheeler, good minutes, Katie Lou, good minutes, Nilissa Smith, good minutes. That team going up against this team, the second half of the season, that team would run this team off the floor. That team would be like the Golden State Valkyrie, just running this team off the floor. While we're playing a pretty motion offense playing into the defense's hand. And that leads me to my next point. This motion offense, it forces players to stop paying attention. It forces players to stop paying attention to detail. Because you're going through the same robotic motions every possession down. There's no read and react, thinking on the fly. Read and react, thinking on the fly. There's no thinking on the fly. It seems as if every plan, every action is a planned action. It could be my turn to get an open back door. They're not thinking of that. Oh, it could be my turn to have the defense collapse on a certain Caitlin Clark and leave me wide open. You think the defense is worried about this offense with a motion offense? Do you think any opposing team is worried about this team with a motion offense? They see Caitlin Clark screening away, and they see an easy day coming. They see Erin McDonald and Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell all starting. They see what's going on over here. They see players on the Indiana Fever not sure who to give it to bring the ball up. Wait, what's going on over here? They're huffing and puffing, trying to catch their breath as Caitlin Clark is pushing tempo and pushing pace, only to see the Indiana Fever head coach slow things down, and they're like, "Whew, Finally, I thought they would never stop. Stephanie White needs to get it together. I said this last video. Somebody needs to sit her down and talk to her and say, what's going on here? What's going on here? What do you think you're doing? Do you think this is the way forward? Do you think this is really the way forward? Do you think this is the best way to maximize the generational talent that we have? It's a generational talent, not a generational role player, not a generational B to someone's A generational leader, a generational player, a generational point guard. Again, Caitlin Clark's the best passer on the team. And we take the ball out of her hands for what? To negate the best? It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me one damn bit. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. We're going up against the Atlanta Dream tomorrow. Yeah, the venue's open. The venue will be open. We'll see you next time, and as always, take it easy.